We're getting an early look at the brand new 2019 Audi E-Tron. This is not another SUV, it's the first vehicle in Audi's electric car offensive. The first thing you notice about the Audi E-Tron is that it looks like a normal SUV. Audi told me that was intentional. The idea was to have an electric car that looks familiar to most consumers. The SUV body style works really well with the electric vehicle drivetrain because the battery pack is under the passenger compartment, so you've got that ground clearance. And it's also a body style that everybody wants to buy these days. This is not a custom paint job. The car I'm driving in Namibia today is a pre-production prototype, hence the orange, white, and black camouflage. Audi isn't ready to talk about specifications yet, but the company told me the e-tron should drive from San Francisco to Lake Tahoe on a single charge. What really stands out when you see the e-tron from the side is that it doesn't have mirrors, it's got cameras. Unfortunately, the US market won't get them because the government won't allow them yet. So you've got the cameras where the mirrors would normally be, and they transfer footage to a screen in the door panel. This is a touchscreen, so you can adjust the view you're getting by tapping it and just moving it around depending on what you want to see. You can adjust the passenger side mirror by hitting this button, or just reset it to its factory settings like this. When you see the e-tron, you wouldn't imagine that it would be a car that would handle well. It's a big, bulky SUV. But the battery under the passenger compartment lowers the center of gravity. The drivetrain is made up of an electric motor over the front axle and one over the back axle, so it's got a 50-50 weight distribution, and it's surprisingly stiff compared to, say, a Q5. Audi also dialed in generous ESC settings that allow for some wheel spin like we're doing right now on a mixture of sand and salt in the Namibian desert. This thing takes a corner surprisingly well. There's not a whole lot of body lean. Point it, back end comes out slightly, and we're off. On a loose surface, it's surprisingly easy to get the e-tron sideways. Hit the accelerator, and we go. Mind the fine print about professional driver, closed course, etc., etc. Don't try this at home. So we know the e-tron can drift on a dry lake bed, but how does it handle itself off-road? Surprisingly well, as it turns out. Audi built in an off-road mode that you can access on the touchscreen on the center console. You hit Car, Audi Drive Select, and Off-Road. It's going to raise the suspension, it's an air suspension system, by about an inch, and it's also going to unlock a boost mode that provides 20% more power. With off-road mode engaged, the instant torque from the electric motors powers the e-tron up a hill even if it's sandy or snowy or loose, while a hill descent control system keeps things in check on the way down. Audi hasn't released technical specifications for the US spec model, but the global market prototype that we're driving right now has about 400 horsepower from the two electric motors. Full power unlocked, Audi quotes a 0 to 60 time of 5.5 seconds. That's respectably quick. Audi hasn't released pricing information yet. The e-tron will go on sale in America in the first half of 2019. You can get in line by sending the company a refundable $1,000 deposit.